Hey everybody, today we're going to be looking at the Kershaw Volt II. This is a budget-friendly spring-assisted knife with a flipper tab deployment. So it's a pretty common knife, very simple design with the GFN scales, the glass-filled nylon, makes for lightweight but strong construction. The blade steel is 8CR13 MOV, so not very high quality, and as you can see, it has some significant rusting and just general signs of wear on both sides of the blade. It's got a nice bead blast finish, so good kind of matte coating. Lanyard hole, it's got a back spacer. It does not have a safety, unfortunately. In my other Kershaw assisted knife, the Scallion, it has a little kind of slide thing that you push, and that covers the blade tip, so it stops it from deploying accidentally, but this does not have it. It's got a liner lock. Liner has the jimping that you'd expect. Top of the blade has jimping, so when you've got it out and you're using it, makes for a nice thumb ramp for your grip on your thumb ramp. Flipper tab acts as a guard. Has a two-way reversible clip. You can either do tip down, tip up, whatever you're feeling. It's got a really small lanyard hole. I don't think that would fit a lot of the lanyards that I've seen people use on their knives. Overall length 7.12 inches, so good intermediate range. With the blade being 3 1/4 and the handle being just under 4 inches. So if we want to do a quick size comparison here, we can look at the Spidey Chef. Spidey Chef is a little bit bigger as compared to something like the Benchmade Mini Grip. So Mini Grip's a pretty small knife, and the Volt is just a little bit bigger. Then for something even bigger, we can break out the Microtech Combat Troodon. If you've got one of these, then you'll see how small well, at least how small it makes the Volt look. But so move those guys aside, and we can talk a little bit about my experiences with this knife. I used this knife a lot in my Boy Scout career, as you can see from the wear and the tear. This was a knife that if one of my friends ever asked to borrow one, I would be like, oh yeah, here you go, and I'll just give them this one because, I wasn't too worried about losing it. It's not a great knife, but it's just fun for a fidget factor. The ergonomics are really nice. It has very distinct grooves for each of your fingers to sit in. Fits well in the hand. The curvature of the spine of the handle itself makes for a good fit in the palm. Nice and snappy flipping action with the spring assistedness. Very fun to play with. That's 90% of the reason why people wanted to borrow this knife, just because you can just sit there and you don't have to flick it hard. You just have to barely press it down and it'll do the rest for you. This is an R.J. Martin design. I've heard of him before. I'm not sure off the top of my head what other knives he's made, or designed rather. But that's one thing Kershaw is really good about, is they have a ton of collaborations with other designers. They do a lot with Ken Onion and other guys that kind of jump between the production knife companies. This guy's weight is just under 3.5 ounces, so pretty much on the light side for its size. I've heard people talk about kind of the weight to blade length ratio, and it seems that the golden rule is for every ounce there should be like an inch of blade, or every inch of blade should equal 1 ounce of weight. So this guy has a 3 1/4 blade with 3.4 ounces, so that's pretty adherent to that rule people have kind of come up with in the past couple years. So if you're looking for a spring assisted knife, or even just kind of a EDC knife in general that's not going to break your bank, you can look at this guy. Blade HQ's got him for $33 right now. MSRP is $52. So I think that's a great price for this knife. It's cheaper than some of the other knives, some of the other spring assisted knives that Kershaw makes, but I think it's just a really solid example of what you get from a spring assisted knife. Nothing fancy, you know. There's not even a thumb stud or anything like that. You're just here for the spring opening with the flipper tab. So yeah, this has been the Kershaw Volt II.